Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squad for boxing news and views from around the internet. The heavyweight contender Adam Kownacki, who's currently unbeaten, has weighed in at a career heaviest 266 pounds for his fight with Chris the Nightmare Arriola in Brooklyn, New York. That's at the Barclays Center. Arriola, meanwhile, he was 244 pounds on the scale. So Kownacki coming in heavy, and I guess we have to ask the question, well, why? He was 258 pounds for his last fight. That was against Gerald Washington. The fight before, he was 263, and it must be noted, he was starting to gas badly in that fight against Charles Martin, and because he was slowing down, that's what let Martin back into that fight. That was ultimately a unanimous decision win to Adam Kownacki, 96-94 on the judges' cards, but Charles Martin had a very good second half of the fight, and in part that was because Kownacki was gassing. So him weighing 266 pounds, I mean, for this fight, it's a bit of a red flag, but I guess the question is it going to matter? Is Chris Arriola going to make it out of the first half of the fight? This is a 12-rounder. They are the headline act in Brooklyn for this card, this PBC card. Many expect Adam Kownacki to get the win here and look good in doing so, and possibly stop Chris Arriola within 4, 5, 6 rounds. And I think I generally had thought about this fight that it's going to be fun for as long as it lasts. But if Chris Arriola, if his game plan, and if he can be defensively responsible, and if he can do a few things with his new trainer Joe Goosen, well, maybe he can push this into the second half of the fight, because I think that would be advantageous for him, because Kownacki, if he's coming in heavy, that could be exploited in terms of his conditioning. And I've seen some people just online, when I tweeted this earlier about Kownacki's career heaviest weight, someone replied and said that Kownacki doesn't have issues with conditioning in terms of he's got a really good engine. And he does come forward, throw punches and bunches, but the Charles Martin fight was evidence that he did slow down at the heavier weight, because he was throwing a lot of punches that caught up with him. And Martin almost looked to stop Adam Kownacki late in that fight, but Kownacki rallied. He was able to finish out the fight and get the decision. So I think this will be a fun fight, and if Adam Kownacki can't get rid of Chris Arriola within the first sort of half a dozen rounds, well, maybe the conditioning in terms of the stamina, it could be an issue in the second half of the fight. But I do think this will be a fun fight. Maybe it's not really strong enough to be a headliner, but I guess this is actually a test for Adam Kownacki and his fan base in New York. Can he actually pull a decent crowd on the strength of his own name to the Barclays Center? Because until now he has been an undercard fighter. This is his first main event, and I'll just get to some quotes, because he's said ahead of this in the final press conference, "This is one of my dreams coming true. Since the amateurs, I've wanted to fight at the Barclays Center, and on Saturday night I'm the main event. I couldn't be more excited. I've been pushing hard in training camp, and I can't wait to show everyone all of my work on Saturday. The key is going to be jabbing and throwing my punches and bunches like I always do. This is a new experience for me, being the headliner, but in the ring it doesn't matter. It's just two guys fighting each other. We both love to fight. I can't wait to get it over with and punch him in the face. Chris Arriola is a warrior. You always know that when Chris fights, it's a good fight. But I'm going to test how much he has left in the gas tank. Chris has been in there with 3 champions, and when I take care of business on Saturday, I'll be one step closer to being world champion. It's truly a great feeling to have all the support from my fans here. The fans are trusting me to bring a title to Brooklyn and to Poland. Barclays Center has been my boxing home, yada, yada, yada. Chris Arriola, he says a couple of things that, he coming to win, Adam's an undefeated fighter, it doesn't matter, yada, yada. The sort of stuff that he is likely to say. He did say of Joe Goosen, his new trainer, "I went to Joe Goosen as my trainer because I knew it was time to make a change. I have to make this last run count. This is the best team I could imagine. Joe makes you work on your mistakes. I believe the winner of this fight is whoever takes advantage of the first mistake." And it could come down to that. And I have sort of been thinking about this fight in terms of Arriola. Does he actually have a shot in this fight? And yeah, I mean, I'm not convinced, but I do think he will potentially have some success against Adam Kownacki, because I think the styles will mesh. Both will be coming forward, both will be letting their hands go and throwing punches, but I am picking the younger, fresher guy to come through this. Arriola has come up short a number of times before, and let's face it, he's a faded force. He was retired for a time. He's been well on the slide for 4 or 5 years now. His best work was about a decade ago. But if he did upset the apple cart, that would be a massive shocker and a big upset. But I think Adam Kownacki would have enough to come through this. But it could be entertaining for as long as it lasts. But if it does go past 6, well, it'll be interesting just to sort of see how Adam Kownacki's stamina does hold up. But what do you make of this news? Adam Kownacki, career heaviest 266 pounds. Is this some sort of Andy Ruiz Jr. type tactic, coming in heavier to have some more stank on his punches? Or is it just a case of he hasn't trained hard enough, or maybe he's put on more muscle? Drop a comment, loud and often, hit like, hit subscribe, follow me on Twitter, boxing_squared. I'm out.